Hello guys and gals of the internet, 7 chaos of YouTube and the 7 chaos previews of August 31st to September 6th, 2015, and we are back to our original setup. I'll explain more about that. This will be another 7 chaos previews where it turns into a channel update for a second segment. There's a lot to explain, a lot to discuss, a lot to reveal, and so on and so forth. So it'll be another longish one, I guess, but well, I'll try and get through it as quickly as possible, but obviously I've got to make the most sense as well. So, alright, so this week is probably one of the biggest of the year, where I think we're going to be running into another Game of the Year contender. In Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain actually released today, because today is Tuesday. I would have done this video yesterday, but I'll get to that. Yeah, it's basically Hideo Kojima's last game, and what I think will probably be the last Metal Gear Solid game. And we all know that the prequel to The Phantom Pain was released a year or two ago in Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero, so we already know that part, and we all know that this is 9 years after those events, and pretty much tells another side kind of story at the Big Boss era. I think it's probably the final story that everyone needs to know before it's all kind of wrapped up, I think. It's so different from every Metal Gear Solid game, this one. It's actually open world and such. But I am going to give recording a go because I have covered all the other previous Metal Gear Solid games. And to be honest, I really want to record this one. It's Metal Gear Solid. I love the series, so I'm definitely going to give it a shot. It might be a bit longer than most other games, but I think what I'm going to do is not really worry about the length of recording so much, because obviously I upload only 2 videos of one game a day and 2 videos of another. I'll go more into kind of a schedule for that, because I've been kind of thinking it through in my head the last few weeks while I've been offline of what I want to do and how I want to do things. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5, the last game from Hideo Kojima. We all know that Hideo Kojima left Konami earlier this year. But I think the game was pretty much done, so I think it is going to be a Hideo Kojima typical long cutscene Metal Gear Solid game, which is fine, because you know I love the series. So I think the game was pretty much done. It's just that Kojima's name isn't on the game, I think. I did see this really funny video just a few minutes ago of someone that actually took the box art from the game and actually wrote Hideo Kojima game on the case. It was hilarious. It was like, yeah, because it is still a Hideo Kojima game. It's just he's not in the case because of all this stuff surrounding him and Konami. So, but yeah, I think the game was pretty much done by the time that all kicked off. So I don't think much is going to change in the way of the game now, which is fine. Review scores are looking positive. I've not watched any of the gameplay in the reviews. I've only listened to Game Trailers one in particular. I think the most interesting part of that whole review was the fact that when the guy said apparently the enemies adapt to what you commonly do. Say if you use a trank to put people to sleep, the enemy will start wearing trank protective suits, which I thought was really cool. It's like the AI adapts to what you do. My only little kind of thing with the game, which isn't really a criticism, but it's more, oh no, is that it is very similar to Peace Walker, but I think the reviewer said it's not as convoluted and complicated as Peace Walker was. Peace Walker was a lot more complicated in the fact you've got to use the, what is it, the Furaton recovery system? Or something, you know, you tag an enemy and they zip up into the air and then you can use them for your base. It's pretty much, Metal Gear Solid The Phantom Pain is pretty much Peace Walker in next gen sort of thing. You know what I mean? It is pretty much, it plays very similar to Peace Walker, and then you get these open world aspects, and you probably get the old Metal Gear Solid games and sort of there with the Easter eggs and such. So I think what Metal Gear Solid 5 is the definitive Metal Gear Solid experience, where everything from the previous Metal Gear games is in this game. It's pretty much what Gears of War Remastered is. You know, it's very similar to that. It's got pieces of all the other Gears of War games up to that point. Metal Gear Solid 5 seems to be the same thing, I think. So I'm really looking forward to this. We'll get a better read on how Kiefer Sutherland does Snake in this game. because obviously we didn't really get much to go on with him in Ground Zeroes because he didn't really talk. The only times he talked was in the opening and in the cutscenes. He didn't really talk aside from that, so we didn't get a good read on him. Like I said, I think he'll fit the bill perfectly. I think he will. So it is going to be a bit weird because this is the first full Metal Gear Solid game without Hideo Kojima. Well, yeah, it is the first. Yeah, he's still part of the game. What I mean to say is David Hayter is Snake. You know, David Hayter has been Snake since Metal Gear Solid 1, and this is the first game without him. So it is going to be a bit of time to adjust, but I think we are in for a great game, and Kiefer Sutherland will do the world proud, I think. So it won't be David Hayter, and I'm sure we'll all spend some time to get used to it, but I think we all will get used to it, and he'll do the role perfectly. So Metal Gear Solid 5, cannot wait to get that started. It downloaded in the early hours of the morning, and I'll talk about why I said that pretty much right now, I guess, because that's pretty much it. I don't want to give too much of Metal Gear Solid 5 away. I don't want to end up talking about it, because I want to experience the game, and I don't really know what is going to happen. I only know kind of bits and pieces from, you know, storytelling pieces and Metal Gear Solid Ground Zero and all that stuff, so. Alright. So, this is where we go into the channel update segment. So, like I said, I would have done this video yesterday, but yesterday, my uncle came over, and the computer is fixed, as you can probably tell by the fact I'm using this camera right now. The computer's fixed. It's much better than it was. The only thing I need to really do is get Windows 10 on it, which hasn't actually come up yet. My uncle found something and it put me back in the Windows 10 download queue or some shit, but I don't really need it, so there might be a bit of a problem with the operating system, but it's nothing major, you know, so I think it should be okay. The games work fine for Steam games, and the recording seems to be okay. Obviously I'll be recording Metal Gear Solid 5 and Until Dawn probably today, and maybe some Gears as well. It's kind of early right now. I'm getting up really early. It's only 8:25 in the morning, but I thought I'd get this video out. So what I'm probably going to do is probably spend maybe a couple of hours, maybe 5 parts of Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and maybe 5 parts of Until Dawn, and then when the time mode is ready, we will start our co-op playthrough of Gears of War Remastered. So that is the plan possibly for today. Will it probably happen? Who knows? You know, with me, I kind of plan these things and then it never happens. But that is kind of the rough idea of what I want to do today. So you will see, I don't know what you'll see first. It kind of depends. I mean, of course, I'm a bit behind. Until Dawn and Gears of War came out last Friday, but obviously I couldn't record it because the PC was kind of still OOA at that time. So I think what I'm probably going to do is Metal Gear Solid 5 and Gears of War Remastered first. I think I'm going to probably get those done. Gears of War, not Gears of War, Metal Gear Solid 5, like I said, it's open world, so I'm kind of a bit nervous about it, but I am really going to try and push with this one, because I really want to get it out there. And I don't think it's, you know, it's not convoluted with side quests and things, I think, but I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I'll obviously give it a shot, and I'll obviously try and get it out, but hopefully, I am hoping to get Metal Gear Solid 5 and Gears of War Remastered as the first videos I've put up since Life is Strange, about a month ago. That was actually quite a long time ago. So that is the kind of rough idea for today, and obviously I'll record a bit of Until Dawn as well, and then I'll probably go up a bit later. But obviously Metal Gear Solid 5 is the new game, so I kind of want to get that out there first. And Gears of War Remastered is basically because I love the series. So, computer's fixed, it's done. From all intents and purposes, I think everything works out pretty well. I did do a quick little video with the stuff I've got. It seems to come out okay. There doesn't seem to be any delay. The problem was the water pump was broken. That's what it was. It was nothing to do with the graphics card. It was nothing to do with the processor. It wasn't anything to do with that. The water pump had broke. And that was basically heating up the computer, which meant everything was kind of getting too hot and the computer wasn't able to work. So, we replaced that with a new cooler. It seems to go pretty cool. You will probably hear a little bit of noise from the computer, but that's obviously more because of the fans and anything else, but it won't be, I don't think it's nearly as bad as it was when I recorded Life is Strange. You can clearly hear the computer and the fans kicking in when I was playing through Life is Strange. No one really commented about it, which is nice, but I do apologise for that. There's nothing more I could really do, and with Life is Strange I wanted to get it out as quick as possible. So, and with good reason. But hopefully now the video should be just me commenting on the game, and that should be it. You might hear the computer a little bit, but that should be okay. I mean, with this kind of thing I'm going to show you in a second, maybe you won't hear it at all. But alright, so I guess I should show you what my new equipment is. As you know, I kind of revealed that I got some equipment upgrades last week, during the MGSV visit last week. So here's what the Elgato HD60 looks like. It's a tiny thing, look at that. It's so tiny, it actually fits on my top thing on my my TV stand thing. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to put it under there, so I can actually put it on the top half and have it there. So it's kind of small, look at that. It's compact. And actually, it has this thing along the middle, and it actually lights up depending on what you're doing. I think white is initialization, red means you probably can't record because it's not got the cables in, and something. I think that's the only colors it does. I haven't actually read the manual or anything yet, because it is pretty much the Elgato HD capture, but you know, it's the 60 frames per second version, where I believe you can record with 60 frames per second. You know, this is the kind of model where you can record in 60 frames per second and it won't cause too many issues. Of course, I didn't know that. I was using the older model with the newer interface, and maybe that, obviously I don't think that had anything to do with the computer now, which is good. You know, it's good because Lady Tom Loader of course has my older capture stuff, so without that we obviously found out that the capture card had nothing to do with the computer, which is cool. That actually reassures me a little bit, because that was one thing we kind of thought was the cause of the problem, but thankfully it wasn't. So recording with this should be okie dory. Now look at this beast. Freaking Blue Yeti is an absolute beast. That is huge. That's absolutely huge, dude. This is actually a really good model because it actually has a mute button here. So if I have to sneeze, or if I have to mute the commentary for whatever reason, I can do that, and you guys won't hear me like hiccuping all over the screen or sneezing or anything. So this mute button is a godsend. You know, so it's great. On the back here, I don't know why I'm doing this, but on the back here, this is interesting. That little thing there is a, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a mode setup. And apparently the third one to the right is a cardial thing, which basically means the noise you come from the microphone will only come from this direction. This is the front, and it'll only pick up noise coming from here. So if I'll be talking into this microphone here, and you'll only hear that coming from this direction, so it kind of blocks out, I believe, every noise coming from the back, the left, the right, and you only hear me talking. So that's why I think the computer making a bit of noise probably won't prove a problem, because the Blue Yeti is designated, excuse me if you like, to pick up my voice only. I'm not sure how that'll work. I've only done a video test. I haven't really tested this thing out yet. Like I said, I'm going to be recording Until Dawn, Gears of War, and Metal Gear today, so I'll definitely get a good reading on how good this microphone is. But so far so good. It's a beast. It's seriously huge. Look at that. I can't get over how big it is. So there's that. There's my new equipment. So obviously I haven't been able to write it down on my YouTube about section yet. Obviously I'll be going on YouTube, uploading this, and probably doing a few little tweaks and changes to the channel. Obviously with this previews going up as the main video. I might do a new channel trailer, but I don't think I need to. I guess I could do a new one, but because I'm going to be explaining this video for you guys, and probably do a channel trailer at some other point. Probably not today, because there's a lot I want to do. But in the future I'll probably do a new channel trailer. But for returning people, here is the plan. Basically, I'm going to have no more discs anymore. I'm going digital with everything. I think over the last, since the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One came out, I've kind of slowly realized that the discs don't really do anything. I don't think there's much reason for the disc, in my opinion. Some people might still like this, some people may not, some people may download it. But I think we are kind of slowly getting to that time. When the Xbox One and PS4 were announced, everyone was like, oh my god, to do downloads and all that sort of stuff. But I think we're slowly kind of getting used to it. We're slowly kind of adopting the only digital only thing, you know, with no discs and, you know, all that sort of stuff. I mean, with the Xbox One, you know, you had to switch it on and all that stuff, the pre-anti-gamer stuff. It's nothing like that. I don't think it was anything like that. But what I'm basically doing is downloading everything. So I won't be really going to my game store that much, but I'll still be going, because obviously Tom is still going to be using discs for now. She'll probably convert next year to digital only. It does make sense. The discs are kind of redundant, aren't they? You know, because even though you have the disc, if you remember the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation and the Dreamcast or something like that, anything with CDs, you pop the disc in and it plays. That's how you play the game. You play the game, there's no install time, there's no anything. This is the PlayStation 3. I don't think it was bad with the PlayStation 3, but you basically still needed the disc, but the game installed to your hard drive. I think it's just the PS3. I think discs are slowly becoming kind of redundant. Here's what I've realized recently. Downloading the game digitally is the same as installing the disc to your hard drive, and I think what different from the PlayStation 3, you're not exactly installing the disc to your hard drive. You're downloading the game. It's almost like you're downloading the game because of the disc. So you might as well just buy the digital version, because that's pretty much what you're doing. You know, you only need the disc to verify that you're using the game. But you know, it's exactly the same thing as downloading. The space is the same. There's no real reason to have discs with the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. There's no real reason to have a disc, because it takes up the same amount of space. It's the same game. There's just no need for it, in my opinion. So I pretty much traded in all my games that I had up to this point. I've written them all down on a piece of paper so I can kind of re-download them later. I've got a few already. I've already downloaded Madden 16 and Until Dawn. I did that last week because I was going to get those anyway on that day. I've re-downloaded F1 for the moment on the PS4 and a bunch of other stuff. Here's basically what I'm thinking. For the PlayStation 4, I'm pretty much going to get everything. First party, third party, everything other than Xbox exclusive is going to, or Wii U exclusive obviously, is going to be on the PlayStation 4. So that's story-based games, that's adventure games, sports games, everything. Everything is going to be on the PlayStation 4 now. I know everybody will go and say, oh, he's a PlayStation fanboy and all that stuff. I know that's kind of what people will think. But the PlayStation 4, to be honest, was my console of choice. It was my first one I got in this new generation. So I think it only makes sense to do everything on the PlayStation 4 now. I know a lot of you will be thinking, well, he hasn't finished Game of Thrones yet, he hasn't finished Borderlands yet, he hasn't done The Wolf Among Us yet. They will continue on the PlayStation 4. Basically, with Game of Thrones, I'm right at the end. So there's no real reason to re-record that. Just do it at the end and say it's the PlayStation 4 version. Basically, that's what I'm going to do there. That's almost done anyway, so there's no real reason to do that. There's no real reason to re-record the game on the PlayStation 4. It's the same game. With Tales of Borderlands, it's the same. I've gone past episode 1, so there's no real reason to re-record it on the PlayStation 4. With The Wolf Among Us, though, I've only done episode 1, so I am actually going to redo that one from the start on PlayStation 4, because I already did episode 1 on the Xbox. So I will actually re-download that and do that at some point, which will be cool. The Walking Dead, I'm not really going to... I might get that later, but it's something I'm not really going to bother with now because they're not really doing a new Walking Dead game for another year or so. So I'll go back and do my multiple, probably my 8th time of Walking Dead Season 1 and my 20th time of Walking Dead Season 2. Well, it'll only be my 3rd, but obviously I'll need to go and do those ready for Season 3 on the PlayStation 4. So, that obviously means that I'll only be doing exclusive games on the Xbox One. So that'll be Gears of War, that'll be Halo, Killer Instinct, you know, Quantum Break that comes out. But everything else is probably going to be PlayStation 4, not only on the Xbox One exclusives. Now, I did this with the last generation. I basically bought everything for the Xbox 360, and when I got my PlayStation 3, I only focused on the exclusives of the PlayStation 3. It didn't obviously help that the PlayStation 3 was near the end of its life cycle by the time I bought it. Obviously, so that didn't help. But, you know, the PlayStation 4 was my console of choice for this new generation. It only makes sense that I play everything on the PlayStation 4 and only exclusives for the Xbox One. It's not that I don't like the Xbox One or anything like that. It's just I like to there's no point buying two of the same game. You know, I've done that this year. It doesn't really work out. It makes absolutely no sense to buy two of the same game. It just makes no sense because it's the same game. I guess I only did it for kind of comparison purposes, which I never put any videos up of, but you know what I mean. It's not, you know, it's just not viable buying two of the same game, and it kind of gives me a direction for this channel as well, and it kind of, you know, I don't have to focus on buying two of the same game just to give comparisons to you guys or whatever, because it is the same game. Let's be honest. You know, I kind of screwed up there. I think only in extreme circumstances will I buy a third-party game for the Xbox One. Let's say Samuel's Games and all his friends are getting Star Wars Battlefront for the Xbox One, and we really want to play with him, and he doesn't have a PS4. He may get a PS4 at the end of the year, who knows. But basically, that'll probably be the only time I buy an Xbox One third-party game, like Star Wars or something. I'm kind of undecided on what to get Star Wars and Black Ops 3 are for the moment. Probably Black Ops 3. I'm leaning towards the PS4, obviously, because of the release of the map packs first on PS4. For PlayStation, probably Star Wars for PlayStation. I think the graphics will probably be better on there. Obviously, you're not going to see 1080p graphics on my recording, because like I said last week, I'm not going to record in 1080p because the file sizes are gigantic and it would take me ages to upload, and I kind of want to be careful with my computer. I don't want to burn it out again and it breaks again, you know what I mean? So I'm going to be a bit more cautious with it. But it should probably last a couple of years, my uncle was saying, so that's all good. So yeah, PlayStation will have all the games, and Xbox One exclusives will be a focus. It gives me kind of a direction and a focus, and you know, I don't have to worry about switching the cables and all that sort of stuff. I just plug the one version I'm playing in, and boom, go. You know, just do the one version. It makes sense. Everything is all over the place. Obviously, with the Wii U, it has exclusives anyway. Mario Maker is coming out soon, so that'll be cool. And of course, with the 3DS, I can't record it. I don't have any direct capture set up, which is a shame, because I have Pokemon. Well, I don't have Pokemon X and Y at the moment because of the thieving stuff, but I can't record that, and I really want to record Pokemon X and Y, but I can't. Unless they remake it for the Wii U, that'd be pretty sweet. That's kind of what I want. That's kind of why I want to do Metal Gear Solid 5 as well. I kind of want to see what I would really do with open world games, and probably just do it. You know, probably just do it and see what people think. You know, do Metal Gear Solid 5 as like a test sort of thing. My camera's flashing for some reason. That's worrying. Oh, it's still recording. I don't know what that is. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap this up. It's still going. Okay, we'll go with that. Alright, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I think that's everything. So, I'm back. Hashtag the return, maybe. A bit like what Darren Rose was doing with the NBA. So yeah, I've put all my pre-orders down that I was basically going to do, like Uncharted collection. I think I put one down for FIFA. I put my name down for NHL. I put mine down for NBA, and they're all ready to be downloaded on the PlayStation 4 when they are available. So that's it. I think I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to be going too long if I don't, and this camera's flashing, which is worrying me. So that is pretty much it. I'm probably running out of space, I think. But anyway, that is it for this 7KS previews / channel update. Again, this should hopefully be the last time I do this, but I thought I'd reveal everything again and let you guys know what is going on. So, Metal Gear Solid 5 and Gears of War should be today, I hope. And I'll also record some Until Dawn as well. So, that is it. I am back, and we are back in action and ready to roll. Let's get going. Let's play some video games. Let's have some fun, which is what the channel is about. It's about fun and my love of gaming, which has been for 21 years now. Anyway, that is it for this video. Let's get back to playing some video games and having some fun. I will see you on Metal Gear Solid 5, Gears of War, and Until Dawn in the future. For now, peace. I'll see you later.